Hello everyone and welcome to ZSR2. Today we've got another match of the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2023 Brackets Round 1 between More Deeps and Taale. I'm starting with me on comps tonight is Zethno. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this game.
As am I. We've got ourselves a Brackets Round 1 match here that's actually a rematch from groups of last year, because these two were in the same group last year and are now facing off against each other again this year. Looking forward to a good match. We've got ourselves MC Boss. Do you want to explain what that mode is?
Sure, it means that the M is for maps, the C is for compasses. So the maps and the compasses will be all over the world. They will not be in their vanilla dungeons. And boss is exactly what it sounds like. The bosses will be shuffled. So the one little thing for newer runners is that the maps means that we will not know what is a crystal or a pendant until we pick up the map. The compass is being randomized for boss is nice because the compass will actually tell you what the boss is in that particular dungeon if you have it. And I believe we're on full shuffle, right?
That is correct. We are on full shuffle, so there is guaranteed to be at least one of every boss and duplicates of 3 random ones, with the usual caveats that only some bosses can fit into certain arenas, of course.
Yeah, we don't want bosses showing up in an arena where you won't be able to defeat them or they get pushed out the wall because, well, that doesn't really make for a good race, does it?
No, it doesn't. We are, however, starting. Both of them have chosen to start at Link's house, which has a very early hammer for us, okay.
Well then. Well, we get a little bit of divergence. You know, it's great that both our runners got that, and immediately they go different ways.
Yep. Deep save quitting, promptly resave quitting to Sank and picking up the Hyrule Castle small key, so, well, that's not going to be in. So that is guaranteed that all the remaining checks in the escape will be items, I guess. Given that maps and compasses are shuffled, other than that, the only fixed dungeon item of a sort is going to be that, and technically the big cube, that's always a drop. In all of the tournament modes, nothing off the tree pull for deeps. And some hearts off the crab.
Hearts. Game not being very nice there. Let's see what Aga has in store for us today.
Half minute. Well, whoopsie.
We're not getting that.
I guess we're not getting that.
That is, to me, that is one of the best quality of life upgrades in the game. But these runners aren't going out of their way for it.
No, they aren't.
They're not going to go out of their way for anything that's quality of life that is going to take that much time. No,
unless... Well, okay, if that's a forced Agassi, then they get Mirror or something early in Dark World. Maybe they get it. Otherwise, yeah, it's not worth it. Well, Mirror and Boots, I guess, but it's unlikely, so that's a lamp.
Ooh, lamp. Speaking of Aga...
Yeah, immediate save quit again for More Deeps here, as Taale is doing the front of escape. Makes sense with that hammer.
That is an interesting route. I'm not sure I've seen that from... I guess we're...
Oh, because Deeps doesn't have money for CAC or bombs.
Oh, no bombs.
Hammer's very nice, but it doesn't blow up bomb walls for you.
Wait, the hammer doesn't blow up every time you hit something?
At least not in this game. It doesn't. It does blow up. It does substitute for bombs fairly well in Not Creative Time Randomizer. It does not in this game.
Got the one.
He's also having Deeps. Absolutely horrible luck, by the way, on these pushes.
I mean, when you're having this
of these with a 50-50, and he's losing that.
Don't die, don't die, don't die. You know what? Take that bomb, just go to the bomb hut. Just get your 4 bombs and be done with it at this point.
Yes, we did get the pod map from Taale in the escape, so that will be some info later. And there's another map on race game.
Yeah, we're not going out of our way for that either.
No, that's not quite worth it. Ooh,
sword in Zelda Cell. That's a big pickup. I even missed what was on library. I need to... Oh, that's a mirror.
Is that a mirror?
That was a mirror on library ledge.
Okay, we need the boots, probably then.
The benefit of Restream is we get a little bit of a small instant replay on live.
Because you can see the commentary page and then also tab to the Restream page, which is a couple seconds behind. Yeah, Taale got a sword out of Escape, nothing else, and a pod map technically, which serves not much purpose ultimately. Nice info, but usually not going to be a big game changer.
Hey, Bomb Hut! I called it!
Yep. But yeah, Taale got a sword, and that's about it from the Escape. Since you already have a hammer, that's not going to make the most immediate of differences right now, but it could be interesting to see routing later. Sword and lamp also makes me more than just a little suspicious.
I was about to say, now we have a sword and a lamp, though. So that makes me really... We are one sword away from AGA access.
Sword or cape?
Yeah, cape, too. But, like, in the end, even if you don't need the sword right now, the sword is a beautiful thing to have, just because eventually, when you get a second sword, you go, hey, I got Master Sword, I can actually do things. And we did pick up a Cane of Samaria in the Chicken Hut.
Always nice to find. Does nothing whatsoever right now in Light World, but you do need it eventually, most likely, so you might as well not have to worry about finding it in, I don't know, Cold Stare.
Yeah, well, it makes routing a little easier, too, because a lot of runners like having it to go into Ice Palace. So now you don't have to make the decision of, do I dip ice without it or not?
Yeah. Blind set containing a bunch of refills in the blue boomerang. The well is about the same.
Other than that, Cane of Samaria, Kakariko seems to be a hole of absolutely nothing.
It really does. We've gotten both boomerangs into Cane of Samaria, and I think that's it.
Like, Kakariko normally has something for us, but, like, this has been pretty...
This has been a bit of a snooze, yeah.
Our runners are probably looking at this going, okay, so where am I... Actually, you know what? You've got Taale looking at that going, okay, I'm finding nothing here. I have a sword and a lamp. I don't like the look of this.
No, like, because that is something to consider, is that more deeps, I don't know if, didn't quite catch if Taale checked the Lumberjack, but Deeps, knows that Lumberjack is just the half magic, and has no particular reason to suspect Aga just yet, given that Hammer did turn up as well as the lamp. Unfortunately, we know it's a little suspicious. The hero map's not bad. That is a crystal.
Where do we have deeps going now?
South Shore, probably, I'd guess. Maybe Escape.
I agree with you, but it could be Escape. Oh! Wait, we were both wrong.
Okay.
I was expecting South Shore as well.
Yeah, I guess either play's doable, really. You've got a bunch of checks. You've got a hammer for here. And something to note as well, we might see... It's a little slow, but with the lamp and the small key from Sank, more deeps might just do the entire escape from front to back. Because Taale didn't have her lamp at the time, so I understand why she doesn't go through to the back, or the small key, so she couldn't. But Deeps has the option to go just do the entire front of the entire escape front, Dark Cross, and back here if he so chooses, which, given how little they found in this seed, might not be the worst play as Taale sees her mirror.
Yeah, it would be much nicer if we had said mirror, because you could just walk in this door, mirror from Zelda Cell, and just do the back. The biggest problem, in my opinion, with doing the back from this particular route is that you actually have to walk all the way back through Hyrule Castle.
Oh yeah, it is not fast, but
not at all. Like, that's quite a walk to get back.
Yeah, and Taale in the meantime is going to go South Shore, which makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot more to check there right now for her.
Yeah, and especially because she's already done the front of Escape.
Yep.
Because we got 2 checks here in the dam, 5 in Mini Moldrum Cave, and then 1 on Ice Rod Cave, and then we might see a fake flipper to the water checks, depending on what she does or doesn't find. Although we are also nowhere near Zora money, we barely managed to afford the bottle vendor.
Yeah, I think if we don't find anything, I could see the water checks making a lot of sense. Even though they're out of logic, they could just give us something to help us along.
Yeah, because we just don't have much at all here.
Armor
Blue
piece.
mail is nice. And we're gonna get the Nagina play as well. Kinda makes sense, I guess, with how much nothing they found this seed. I do like how Shy Guy's clothes are now more of a bluish purple with the blue mail. Always nice to see the sprite changes with the various mail upgrades and with the bunny sprite.
For sure.
Deep's playing with the Ursa sprite on that end, which is I think the first time I've seen this one. Hey Nasagi, welcome in. Yeah, we are tuning in pretty early. We're 10 minutes in. We have seen not much. Cack was a snooze. The front of Escape didn't have a lot besides a sword.
You are going to see the back of Escape.
Yeah. Wonder if Deeps will evolve into Ursa get blue mail. That's possible, although since 10 years has a 2-stage evolution line, although it does have an alternate. Well, it does have it has 2 evolutions in Legends Arceus, but they're not. It's 2 different ones. It's a branched evolution line, not a 3-stage one. It could be in the evolution. It could also be a shiny sprite. Could be something more minor. It depends on who came up with the Pokemon sprite. They vary a bit. And okay, why is that Master Sword and Dark Cross?
Well then, Aga's available.
Yep. Very available as we get a fetch quest in Mini Moldrum Cave in the form of a shovel and a map both a map and compass to Eastern. Thanks.
So Mini Moldrum Cave is saying go to Eastern, and a Hyrule Castle is saying go kill Aga, go kill Aga.
Yeah. And we've got the map to Thieves, the compass to TR, and the mushroom. Speaking of fetch quests. Now I'll double check the cropping on Taale. Didn't realize it was a little wonky. Oops. Thank you for reminding me.
Ice Rod Cave for this very long, dangerous walk early. Those crabs are so mean early. The fact that they take 2 hearts just makes it really easy to die on the way over there by accident.
It is. Blue mail does help a little, at least.
Rupees.
And do yell at me if I'll over cropping or whatnot stuff. Yeah, $300. Not enough for Zora, and Taale's gonna decide to go do something else. Maybe turn in that shovel, maybe head to the front of, maybe just go do the escape.
Back of Escape?
Looks like it. I think she's really suspecting Aga at this point, given how much of the seed has given and hasn't. I mean, we don't have much left in the game. We can turn in the mushroom, we can turn in the shovel, and we can do Eastern, I guess.
And Saha and Eastern together.
Yeah, right. Saha Eastern is the only Saha Eastern plus a couple fetch quests as that's a very, very blue Teddy Ursa.
Yeah, very much so.
Well,
you were mentioning the color change.
Shiny color. I don't remember if it's that. I am going to go check, but I don't remember. But I don't remember shiny Teddy Ursa being blue. I might be wrong.
I doubt it, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a red one when we find red mail.
Probably. It's always a choice of the sprite creator. And yep, no. Shiny Teddy Ursa is green, actually.
Taale finds the Master Sword, so now both our runners are sitting on Master Sword land, looking at that Aga portal going, oh, are you kidding me? Is this an Aga seed? Ooh, More Deeps does not push over to Ice Rod Cave, does not get the 300 rupees.
No, that is actually interest. Has 115 rupees, so can still afford pod, but only just. Is instead though going to head on off to Eastern, which makes sense, I guess. Because deciding to leave Ice Rat Cave and Nagina as two long isolated checks that he doesn't want to do. Let's see what taale does here though. That is going to be a save quit.
I like the pause. A few steps down, pause. Wait, where am I going?
Yeah. Shiny Ursa is like green. Yeah, that's what I googled as well.
It's the Green Pendant's pod. So even though we haven't gotten Dark World access, we have the map to pod, and we got the information that pod is a Green Pendant.
Yep. Let's see. Compass to Skull Woods. Thanks for the cave.
Yeah, more Aga access. Would you like to do Aga?
Yeah, I think the scene might want Aga at this point. We're not getting anything else at this point. At this rate, it is MC Boss, correct? Doesn't fit on the Streamlab, which is why we don't have it there. But this is an MC Boss seed.
You know, we're talking about all this Aga, but we're gonna walk into Eastern and find like gloves and mitts.
It's possible, yes. There are. I totally missed what the boss is in Eastern.
Oh,
we had to check apparently. Thanks to our tracker.
Oh, cold stare.
Well, we don't have a bow to get there anyway, and apparently we're gonna need Fire Rod or Bombus too. So, good to know. More money for.
So we can't do it
Zora.
for two different reasons.
Yep, more money in Eastern. That puts more deeps to 415. And
I think we're getting the fake powder. Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, fake powder, right? Because we can do that because it's because we have Cane, Hammer, and Mushroom, which is not something you see very often before Dark World access.
Not at 15 minutes into the game, no. That's
game,
not the normal.
Why is that bomb boost in Eastern?
Okay, well, you know what? All we need to do is the bow is in the next item, then we find gloves, and then we can defeat the boss and get Dark World access all in Eastern, making Eastern the biggest play of the game.
It could be really big for deeps here, yeah, and taale had a little trouble, but does succeed Magic Bat, which gets a heart container, not required for anything whatsoever, but is going to make the Aga play a little less terrible, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they're early enough in the game that a full heart is nice.
Yeah, where is she going, though? Because that's a safe with the sank. Oh, I guess this is one way of getting to the Witch Hut.
It's a long walk for a Witch Hut check.
Yeah, guess doesn't want to do the fake flipper from just south of Link's house, or maybe isn't comfortable with it, I'm not sure.
But, like, to walk all this way is a lot, considering what's left. Like, we still have all of Eastern left, and...
Yeah, all of Eastern and the play to Dark World at this point. As much as neither of them want to do Aga, it's fully in logic and they know it.
Sorry, I was drinking water, but that's a Moon Pearl!
Oh, that was well worth a walk.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering, like, that's a really slow walk to get there, but man, did that pay off.
Really did, because,
as we are joined by the raid from ZeldaSpeedRuns, the other channel of right as we find that Moon Pearl.
Yeah. Alright, Eastern's done, had the Compass Desert, a bombos that will eventually be useful for that cold stare in there, and hey, raiders, welcome in, thanks to the raid. We are doing some Link to the Past randomizer. It's a McBoss seed, so the maps and compasses are shuffled, and so are the bosses. And the game's given us basically nothing except for a pile of things pointing to Aga 1, so we're doing Aga 1.
Yep, keys are not shuffled, so there's really not too much to talk about as our runners complete the climb here.
Not particularly. This isn't the most well-equipped AGA of all time by any means, but it is an AGA at least. It's also the only thing they can do, essentially.
I mean, blue mail's nice. 5 hearts blue mail is kind of decent. We have lamp. Like, we have bastard sword. This isn't horrible. Taale gets through that first room very quickly with the double spin. More deep showing the more active route of going at them with a hammer. Takes a lot more damage that way, though. It's interesting.
Speedy prediction chat, by the way. How many blue balls are we going to get today?
I'm laughing at the fact that both our runners have boomerangs out, but they're using the opposite ones.
That is funny. You can kind of see their preferences on that front because the boomerangs were some of the only items they found in CAC.
I just love that one's using one and one's using the other, though.
It is pretty funny. Yeah, how many blue balls do you want to see today, Zethno?
I normally say 4, which is, I think, 1 above the, average, but it's just always my guess. What about you?
I also say 4, usually. So we'll see if we're right, or if the game gives us something else. Yeah, I hope the Wind Waker rando went well for ZSR main. We're having a time. Because let's see, even once we get to the Dark World, More Deeps is going to be able to do Pyramid Ledge and not much else, given that he hasn't turned in his Mushroom yet for his Moon Pearl. And unfortunately, the game really doesn't want to give you any fast way of turning it in at this point. It does survive this room, but More Deeps can only do Pyramid Ledge if we're having to go look for his Moon Pearl. Taale can go into Pod, but they still don't have West Dark World access right now.
Yep. I got a question. I don't think anyone checked Agina's cave.
Somebody did. It was...
Oh, did someone?
Forgettable. Yeah, I wanted to say I remember someone walking in that direction.
I didn't think anyone checked it. I must have missed it.
Yeah, someone did.
One blue ball, I think, so far?
That's what I was thinking. Make that 2 now, and Taale did. Thank you, chat.
Apparently I was looking at deeps at the time.
I guess so. I remember seeing it, but I forgot who did it. Hey, Zen Arcade reading with the party of 6. Welcome in. Hope you're doing alright. We're doing McBoss. That's blue ball number 3, I think. The hard required Agassi. The game gave them nothing else to do. Well, okay, we never saw that shovel. I guess there could technically be a glove on there. That's blue ball number 4.
As there's a glove on the shovel, our runners would be so unhappy with that.
They would! So, for context, More Deeps did Easter. There's a cult there in the back and no bow, so we can't actually do it. So Bombus was an Eastern for the giggles. That's blue ball number 5. And Taale's turned in the Mushroom for Moon Pearl. That's about the only real divergence they've had to this seed, besides some difference in order.
And, well, Taale also did the fake powder, so at least that's off the...
Yeah.
Out of consideration, but it wasn't anything important.
Nope.
It just means that she won't be going back there later, right?
Yeah, that is true. Red Crystal Thieves, and already know that's a green pod. Alright. We can't actually do Hype Game, I guess. Is one thing I tend to forget when we have Aga. We have Dark World access by Aga, but also have a hammer. We can't go there.
Yeah, but the problem here is that More Deep still doesn't have the Moon Pearl.
No, because he hasn't turned in that shroom.
And we found out that there's nothing on Pyramid Ledge to help, so that mushroom needs to get turned in. What a rude location for that.
It really, really is. You have to walk all the way out there for that one check.
What a
And he's
bunny
going
sprite.
to know, too, that there's not much left. Yeah, that is an interesting bunny sprite. I think that's an interpretation of what a Titty Ursa egg would look like.
Yeah, it looks like an egg to me, too.
Yeah. And for those who are wondering, since I don't think we've mentioned it yet, it is the Cuphead MSU for Deeps. So you've got Compass to Swamp, Quake here in Hype Cave, a Heart Container, and Heart Piece.
The Quake is nice to see, but really that was nothing again. This game is not giving our runners much to work with.
They really, really aren't, and good for Deeps, he's starting in his room. Gonna be a little grumpy about seeing this Moon Pearl, but at the same time, at least it's not a glove that he kind of, gotten before doing Aga.
Oh yeah, the glove would be the annoying pickup here. The Moon Pearl's like, well, of course it's here.
Yeah. I mean, Deeps noticed that it had to be somewhere. There's so little left in the game. Stumpy didn't give us a whole lot of anything either, so Taale's gonna head over to Dig Game. And I'm curious to see how much of Pod is going to be available to these two, because they don't have a bow. They don't have much else to do, but they... to be fair, so I suspect probably a little bit more than one check, potentially, but we'll have to see what the game does or doesn't give them.
Well, the big thing is that we can unlock the bow side without the bow.
It is true, assuming they know Mimic Clip, which I am not familiar with either runner skill level, so I do not know either way.
That's a clip I still got to go back and learn. I know the bottle one, which is the easy one, but Mimic is not that much more complicated. You just do have to spend a little bit of time and get used to it.
Mm-hmm. I'm very much a casual ALttPR player, so I do not know that trick either form.
Oh, I mean, the bottle one is just use it in the hallway, basically, while you're moving left. A little bit of an oversimplification, but that's about it.
Nice. Alright, we're seeing a pod play here from Taale, which makes sense. There is just so little left to do. Though the more Deeps not do fake powder, did not want to go hike all the way back to CAC for that one thing that's out of logic, I don't blame him, and it will not bite, as that was just a heart container on Magic Bat. Which, isn't, it would be nice to have, but it's not going to break the seed. Deserts are other red crystal, good to know. I have also turned up the game on a bit since someone in chat said that was a little quiet. And let's see what the first check in pod is here. Deeps picking up. Ah, yeah. Yep.
Gonna be a key. Yeah, it's a key.
Yep.
Like, we just don't really have anywhere else to go. Like, we're basically out of logical checks. It has to be a small key.
It's this or the shovel, yeah.
Right? Like, it just had to be. There's got to be logical access to keep going here.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless, like, Glove is that shovel game, but...
There's just so little available, yeah.
Or Flute.
Flute would be entertaining. Flippers would be interesting.
Flippers. Yeah, so there's a few things, but they're all one-off items that give you a few more checks, whereas this definitely gets us quite a few more.
Yeah. Boots would be a comedy option, I guess.
Get Mirror.
Get Mirror, which... Boots would be interesting. Get Mirror, else Bonk Rocks. Get Hack Magic, I guess, would be bad.
We're gonna go see Sick Kid.
Sure, I guess, but...
to show him an empty bottle because that's what he really wants to see. Oh, shovel spot checked on deep side. No more guessing about the ridiculous things that could have been there. It was arrows. So I think logically, the access has to be in pod.
I think that's the only thing left. Yeah.
I think between the two of them, I don't think there's anything else in logic.
I agree with you. I don't think there's anything else in logic or out of logic, really, at this point.
Well, I mean, nobody's done a fake flipper yet.
Okay, I guess I can do fake flipper, and that's it for out of logic checks.
All right, so there's a little bit of access in out of logic, but I like this is it. It's got to be something's got to be here.
Yeah, we've seen everything else. Nah, there's
Hook
a
shot.
hook shot. Is
doesn't
catfish
help.
available? I keep forgetting. The hook shot gives us West Darkworld access, so
Oh, you're right.
tracker
It
stuff
does.
now. But hookshot is West Darkworld access. Besides hookshot, though, do we have catfish access without hookshot? I keep forgetting the. I want to say you need glove or boots for it, but I might be ding-donging it. Thanks. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
We need glove or catfish.
I thought we did, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Though it's West Darkworld access. We now have West Darkworld access through that hook shot.
Yep.
So over to the Village of Outcasts we go at the end of this.
Yep. And
fake flippers.
Oh, this is interesting for Deeps playing to get an advantage by doing the logic checks here. Heart piece on Lake Island's not useful. Yeah, one small key and the big key are both locked in pod. Thank you, Derek, for counting what I did not.
So the big key is bow locked.
Yep.
Right. Logically, of course.
I mean, you can't really do it. Yeah, and at this point, I don't think you want to go out of logic even too much. It is green pendant, and you kind of have other things you might like to do, especially now that all of us Dark World's available.
I mean, if you're there, you might want to do those like 2 checks if you know the mimic clip, just to get them out of the way, make it less likely that you need to come back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. This, by the way, is such an unintuitive thing to use hookshot to cross from east to west here. Did not know that was an option until Rando, but that is in fact logical West Darkworld access in Rando, and that is exactly what Taale is doing, to head on over to the village. Thieves down, all that stuff. See, it really doesn't want to give anything? You are wrong.
No, it's every time we run out of items to check anything and we get it in like the last chest. And then we get to do it all over again.
Pretty much. And nothing on Bumper Ledge. Waterfall Fairy giving us a heart container and some bombs.
Like just everything. Even the other logic checks. They're not getting us anywhere.
No, they really aren't. I mean, Mordeus isn't going to complain about a heart container, but it's not progression of any kind.
So you know what?
$100 is even less so.
Every check we've been making has been a scam of some sort. So Zora won't be a scam, right?
Right.
Right? Right? I think. Incoming single rupee.
Jan suggesting single arrow would be funny as well, and
Single
the answer
arrow,
is 20.
20 rupees.
Yeah, that was not worth it.
Maybe Zora picked this seed. Like Zora picked where all the items are.
Would explain why this seed is this dry. To be fair, we don't have the completely barren trackers. Unfortunately, a lot of the items on the trackers are not the most helpful collection of things. We do have both boomerangs, I guess. We've got a mushroom, a shovel, and 2 medallions. But there's not a lot that gives us actual things to do.
We're getting all the peripheral items that could be helpful if we could get to the location where we need them.
Exactly. A couple small keys for Taale and Skull Woods. More Deeps is doing Agina.
A lot of keys on Taale's side.
Yeah. Also, I'm a scatterbrain and forgot to set that this is a 10-minute delay in the restream dashboard. That is now fixed.
Oh, Fire Rod in Skull Woods, of course. As we're running out of checks, keep going in the dungeon.
Game, I think the last ALttPR race I commented had the Fire Rod in that chest.
There's the glove. Skull Woods with the glove and the Fire Rod.
Okay, I guess there's the answer to where our items go. That. Yeah, glove opens catfish. It gives us regular Dark World access, which is really nice.
Gives us mountain access in Light World.
It does. There's that too, and we can do right side Death Mountain and drop around to Crystal Hera, though it's a bit of a walk.
We can just do absolutely everything in Light World Dark Mountain now.
Yes, we can.
That just opened up a lot of checks.
That's a lot. Taale is ahead for the current moment, yes. More Deep's trying to go out of logic. Unfortunately, has been a time sink that gave nothing at all.
Taale also skipped Eastern, didn't she?
She did. She never went into Eastern.
So, that saved some time, too. However, if something had been in Eastern... But that's a little bit of rando, right? You gotta take some risks sometimes, and you take a gamble, and sometimes it's helpful, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, Bombos in Eastern might have been useful, but unfortunately the Fire Rod was in Skull Woods of all places, which is just rude.
We might still need one for. We might still need it for Turtle Rock or Mire.
We might, but at least we won't need it for a Cold Stare, which we have in fact already seen one of, because that's in Eastern.
And of course, we could always run into a Trinex in some random dungeon.
Yeah, but speaking of, let's see what this boss is. Vidi! No Helmicopter for us today, sadly.
Aww. And no Moldorm, too. I like Moldorm in this dungeon, because Moldorm just has issues with belts.
He really does, yeah.
Moldorm was not coded to stand on a moving floor.
No, he wasn't. I do wonder how many eyes Moldorm will have today.
That is a good question.
Oh, that hurt. Hello, welcome in, ALttP. Yeah, we've got 4 ZSR channels actually. We're on ZSR2 here. We've got twitch.tv/ZeldaSpeedRuns, our main channel, as well as twitch.tv/ZeldaSpeedRuns_3 and ZeldaSpeedRuns_4, because somebody took the ZSR3 and ZSR4 _free versions before we could. And Taale is gonna just go back to Skullwoods later, which I don't fault her. Low percent Skullwoods. It's also a pendant. Go do something else. Or it's might as a pendant on our tracker, but it's more just a crystal on her personal tracker. Not quite sure on that one.
Sorry, which dungeon?
Skullwoods.
Oh. Okay.
Skullwoods independent. Okay, thanks, Slayer and Taale's gun. Taale's gotten her own tracker mixed up, I think. Yeah, I am also failing reading. Yeah, and chess game is nothing. Deep's clearing out pod, picking up his items. And actually, no, there's the pod big key. That is not on right side.
Yeah. Looks like that chat made a bit of a mistake there at some point. That's okay. I didn't catch it. I wasn't counting.
Me neither, to be honest. Brewery giving us another heart piece. Yeah, I don't think I know Taale didn't open the big chest because she didn't have the big key, so she didn't do harmless hell raid.
That must have
Or
been an
check-
error. Must have just forgotten it was there.
I'd
Accidentally
assume
walked past it.
so. And thankfully for her, it's just a her piece.
Always nice when the item that you forget to check is absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's for sure.
Very unfortunate when you find out it was actually a critical item that you didn't check for 20 minutes.
Yeah, Deep's getting a little lost here, but those not lost, just trying to find a way to death warp out, and he does succeed.
That dark room can be a little funky for that.
Yeah. Bicky in the first check of thieves for taale, so that's one thing down.
And a bow.
Bow.
I just want to say the enemies in the dark room seem to be, if you're on half a heart, you're trying not to get hit, they'll snipe you from across the room. But when you're trying to death warp, they're nowhere to be seen.
Yep, because that's how it works.
But wow, okay, so we found a bow. That's a big pickup.
Yeah, that's gonna be... Eastern will be completable, so... and they both know it. Eastern will be completable, Deeps will know that. Taale doesn't yet know there's a cold stare in there. Although... I think almost... looking at the items they have, I think they can kill every boss except for Trinex with this item set now.
Yeah.
We've got we've got swords and hammer for most of these. Yep. We've got a hookshot for, we've got hookshot. We've got fire rod. Yeah, I think everything but Trinex is killable, and they would. Well, hi,
hey,
Moldorm.
Moldorm. 4-eyed. Hey, my number 4 came back.
Oh wait, no, I can't count yet. That's a 4-eyed Moldorm. Not sure why I said 3. Brain fart.
You started counting from 0.
I might have. But that is going to be Ether, so no medallion wars today, I guess.
No. We do get a crystal there. Nice to know. But I think we had that already because it was a red.
Yeah. We do have a good amount of dungeon info now. We know 2 of our 3 pendants. Pod is the green pendant, and apparently Skullwoods is also a pendant per our tracker and More Deeps' personal tracker, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pendant.
So we are only missing 1 pendant. Where that is, we don't know. We do, however, know, let's see, what do we confirm need for go mode? We do need mitts. We logically at least need flippers, because at least one of Swamp Array spells has to be a crystal.
Yeah, but if it's ice, we can just skip that.
Yeah, that's why I said logically. We also need a good chance we need a flute. And because let's see, good chance we might need flute or for Myre Axis, potentially for Desert Axis. Although Desert Axis via flute requires also that we get boots because our mirror is on the library. Yeah, which we might also need to find somewhere, sometime.
Yeah, I guess the question is, like, what do they actually need for sure to end the game? And there's really not much.
Guaranteed is mitts. Beyond that, depends what our last depends what our last pendant is.
Yeah, it's just mitts and something, depending on where that pendant is. There are other items we need, we just don't know what they are.
Yep. Thankfully, More Deeps is doing Skullwoods, which makes more sense here in... Which thankfully, it's a good play here in Make a Boss, because there's more items than in the usual Skullwoods, where there's only 2 items and they might both be Fire Rod locked, but here it's more of a sensible play, because that's good, as the last seed I commentated was for the main tournament, and I think it was a tournament hard seed, and the Fire Rod was in the exact same chest in the front, because, okay. And one of the runners hardly has location at Fire Rod, which because it's just not an appealing play, and it's not a particularly appealing play when it's just regular old tournament hard without any kind of key sanity or the like. He wasn't too happy about that one, I remember. And Thieves Town Big Chest has $50 for us. This place was not worth. The back of Thieves Town did not provide much. Had a red crystal, but that's
Death
been
warping.
about it. Yep. The bow in the front of Thieves Town, though, is very useful, and I guess we might need either off the boss. We'll see.
With a boss defeated before going to the back, we can just leave.
Yep. Because in boss shuffle, you do not need to bring the maiden to the palace room because kind of moot point in boss shuffle, and that goes even if it turns out to be a vanilla blind.
Can you imagine you bring the maiden back and she turns into Moldorm?
That would be something.
Because we had Moldorm here this time, or Trinex. Oh boy!
Oh yeah.
How did you fit in that?
None of it turned into video Argus. Yeah,
Boy.
I would have questions.
So many eyes. Hold on. That doesn't work. You can't have blind with, like, how many eyes?
10 each, I think, for those bosses.
But, like, blind with 10 eyes? That just seems, there's a problem with that phrase. So we will see Taale go and complete this dungeon as well. Yeah, unfortunately, no cool boss to see here either.
No. This is a Viddy. She unfortunately died to this one earlier. Viddy's not the easiest of fights in this room between the moving floor and the spikes and, well, Viddy.
Yeah, it's not the most pleasant fight.
But she doesn't really want to have to come back through here for it, so I get this play.
We had fast Moldorm there for a moment, but Deeps pulls it out.
Yep. And that's Ether and Deeps' first crystal here. Gonna see some cape strats for Taale. Hopefully she remembers to get back out of Viddy before, because the last time she died because the cape ran out and she was still in the middle of the eyes, so she instantly took damage.
Yeah. This is just not a pleasant fight.
It really isn't. Using spin strats here, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Viddy fits in this room. It's tight though. This is one of the smaller boss rooms, and the spikes and moving floor really don't help. Like that's one of the boss rooms that is limited on what bosses you can actually fit in it. So I know that you can get a helicopter in there, which is always a fun sight. You can get a Moldorm, you can get Viddy, of course, Moth. Not really a lot else you can fit in that particular boss arena. It's pretty small, and the spikes don't play nice either. This is going to be a mountain to play for Taale, though, which makes sense since as we discussed earlier, there are a lot of checks up here. Deep's going back for Eastern also makes a lot of sense here, since he knows that this is now beatable. And doesn't really feel like going back to Pod and doesn't want to route the two together, even if he even can, given the mirror location.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too, is about what would it be worth trying to save this to route it back with Pod, but there really are only 2 items left in that, well, 3 items, but one's on the boss.
Yeah.
Or, I think there might be a key still, so 3 locations.
Yeah, 3 locations, one of which is a key. Hera Compass is, I guess, kind of convenient on the old man. But this will be crystal number 2 for Deeps, just doing progression here. There's only 1 item left in here, it's on the boss, which... Cold Stare's not going to be the most fun of bosses here, but... it's not a terrible room for him, I guess, at least.
No, it should be fine.
Nothing on Spec Rock for Taale, so... see what's inside is... more nothing, just a heart piece.
Not going out of our way for a piece of art.
No,
Probably wouldn't go out of our
already-
way for a full heart either. At this point.
Yeah, I think, with 8 hearts and blue mail and a bottle as well, you probably don't detour for that. Oh, I realized we were discussing earlier how Taale skipped the pod big key and harmless hellway. That's because she got a pod in the pod big chest, in the big key chest. More deeps did the harmless hellway and not the big key chest. So because they couldn't do all the checks without a bow for the key on right side.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. And we
Ooh,
got tempered
tempered.
for Taale. That's nice. We were discussing as though you can technically defeat Ganon with Master Sword and no silvers, but it really sucks, so that's a nice item to see.
Yeah, tempered's all the damage we need for the rest of the game, so we're good. If we run across a gold sword, that's nice, but we're not going to go looking for it.
Yeah, map to ice, compass to pod. Ooh, mitts. I guess we're doing Dark Death Mountain too.
This is a good time to pick it up, though. While you're here, you can do a bunch of the tracks and loop them all in together.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good cold stare fight from Deeps. Getting a heart piece for his troubles and his second crystal.
That technically puts Deeps in the crystal lead.
Yeah, we'll have to see where he goes next.
If you're cheering for him, you're hoping up the mountain. I'm a little surprised we're seeing Spiral Cave right now. I was expecting Tower of Hera back into here and then down to the teleporter.
Yeah, I guess Taale just wants to do this first.
Right, because if you do this, it's a great time to go into Dark World and get the Dark World items, but you're basically isolating Tower of Hera, and your only way to get back to Hera is to go all the way around the mountain again.
Yeah, because you know you're not getting your mirror either. That's on the library, and we don't have boots. Even if you find boots, you're not going off the mountain just for that.
Oh yeah, see, now we're gonna walk all the way up to do Hera, and then we have to jump all the way back down to get Dark World. Actually, no, we have mitts.
No,
we can use
the
can use the TR entrance. Yeah.
I guess it goes either way on that routing. Here's a different question: do you dip TR this if you're here? Taale isn't guaranteed access because she doesn't have bombos from Eastern yet, but it is an option at this point. We don't know what the boss is. It might be a vanilla Trinex, it might not. There's no guarantees. We've seen way too few bosses to have any idea what this could be.
Yeah.
Here's the big key. Because TR is an option. You're going to be orphaning Mimic Cave. You know your mirror's not here. You know you're going to be orphaning Mimic Cave. You might end up needing to leave if this happens to be a vanilla Trinex. Small key here in Hera. And we're going to see
you're
Hera
right, but
Taale.
it's definitely an interesting option.
It does, because like a TR would be progression, and it is entirely possible it's clearable, but also, as unfortunately Taale does fail the Hera pot and decides to just climb. But also, it's just... you do need to eventually come back up the mountain for GT, if nothing else. You may want to just leave it for later. So I don't know quite yet, but on that... You also don't even know if it's a crystal, I think, right now. I don't think we've seen the TR map.
I don't think we have either. There are a lot of items in there, though.
There are, so I'll be interested to see if Taale decides to go in or not. A piece of the Hera Compass chest. You have a hook shot here. I guess that works. And Compass to Thieves. Thanks.
Very helpful. Yay, we can tell what the boss that we've already defeated is.
Yep.
Wait. That's not helpful.
Nope. And we are going to see what boss this is. This is one of the other arenas that's pretty restricted, because the 2 Moldorm arenas are pretty small, and there's not a lot of bosses that can fit up here. And
Helmasaur.
it's a Helmasaur. Alright. So a little bit of a visual glitch.
What's Helma doing all the way over there? Helma's a big boss today.
Yeah, he is.
Helma in this arena is not the most difficult, but definitely a very annoying boss, because he keeps going over and standing over that pit.
Yeah.
And even if you're trying to use bomb stress to get the mask off, your bombs just drop into the pit half the time.
Mm.
Oh.
Deep's also going for Harapot. I have seen, actually, Tully's not bothering, but I have seen runners, when Helma ends up in the Moldorm 1 arena, to just stand on the ledge of, like, below and just throw bombs down, which, for safety, which can work, but maybe can be a little funky on that one. Nice Harapot for Deeps.
The one I love is when you have Vitreous up here and you have a really low sword. It's great to stand on that ledge and just throw bombs down just to get some initial damage down onto the eyes. So when you come down, you have a little bit of damage.
Yep.
I think we're checking basement.
Yeah, we are. Which, I guess you're here, why not? I think that's a little... You know, I'm thinking about that map they left behind on Race Game a while ago, and... Because
As is the Turtle Rock map.
Yeah. Because I'm really wondering, because a lot of... Because they're not in Go mode, it's just that they don't know what their Go mode is until they figure out what their final pendant is at this point.
Yeah. Difficult thing to know what to do when you're not quite sure what you're going to need.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, here it is. Coffee break room completed, and the chest is the whole $20.
Yep. Nice.
I don't think that was worth
Helma
it.
Fight for Deeps. That was not worth the $20 at all. Helma's down for Deeps, and it'll be his 3rd crystal here, 56 minutes in. And he's a lot closer than he was earlier, actually, now that... about a hair of basement behind on immediate progression right this second.
Yeah, but there's also a sword behind because he hasn't cleared all over inside yet. Oh, does he? Oh, he does. It's just not on the tracker.
No, he's got he's got his sword. That's not a concern. He went straight right side.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Yeah,
and when you think about it, remember Deeps is crystal ahead.
He is. I think he's a crystal ahead, and Taale, unfortunately, I think just lost a lot of time to that Vidian Skull Woods might be where this came from.
Yeah, it could be.
Because I'm trying to think of where this time difference is. Like, more Deeps is technically maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute behind on right now what they're doing this second in the mountain.
I'm sorry, yeah. Turtle Rock is Bombos.
Oh, okay, so that is interesting. Taale cannot go in. We know Bombos is down in Eastern, and she hasn't been there yet. But Deeps is a choice here. As we see that it's just a Heartbeats and Floating Island, and Deeps gets to the rock.
No, not if the Dead Rocks don't let you get the TR.
Yeah, there we go. But that's a choice for Deeps here. Is Taale does not have that choice of TR we were discussing earlier, but Deeps does, and that could be That could be a pretty big game changer. They're pretty close right now, despite assorted different, back and forth here and there, and Talia losing a bunch of time to the Vidi and Skull Woods, but this could be a major divergence if Deeps decides to go into TR after clearing the rest of Dark Death Mountain. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna check Hookshot Cave and Lake first, but I do wonder if he might go in as we get the map to Meyer. Ooh, that's good. And red mail, sure.
Okay, so hold on. Blue mail turns you blue, and red mail turns you black?
Apparently. And that is Pendant Meyer, so we know all of our pendants now.
Oh, you know what?
So
then I think it's even more likely that we see the TR play. Now that we know it's a crystal.
Because Deeps will know that it's a crystal here, and I think you make a play for crystal TR while you're here. As we get...
Oh, there's the green. There's the shiny.
Years. So yeah, that is our no mode. We need for dungeon rewards. There is. We are very much not in no mode for items. That is, Mordeeps gets his first bobble out of Super Bunny. I forgot he hadn't gotten the one out of the pod because they used their final pod key in different ways.
Unfortunately, Taale dies to Spike Cave. Does not get through it.
Oof, I hope for her sake that's nothing, as Deeps now officially also has all of his dungeon reward information. So, here's a point.
Actually...
Yeah?
Well, okay. Well, the one thing is that Taale, I don't think, checked the red crystal. So, she doesn't know what the red crystal is yet. She knows what the crystals are, but not which one's the Pyramid Fairy one.
That's true, yeah. I don't think she talked to the bomb shop owner, as expected, Deeps is heading into TR.
Yep.
So, go mode items. We need boots to get Mirror for Swamp. We also need flippers for Swamp, as we need boots and flippers effectively for Swamp. We logically need flippers for Ice, but are otherwise fine. We need either a flute or the book, as we are guaranteed to get Mirror at some point for Desert. And if Trinex shows up somewhere, we need an Ice Rod.
Odds are we will see Trinex at some point, but the thing is that there are 3 pendant dungeons that we know what they are, and we may not have to complete, so Trinex could just be hiding in one of them.
Unfortunately, we already know that one of our pendant bosses is that pendant Vidi that Taale has died twice to.
Oh, yes. All that for a pendant, too. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, she had Skull Woods marked on her tracker as being a crystal for a while. I wonder if that might have... I wonder if that might have influenced it a bit as she finds her bombos. And might be a little grumpy about that, given she was just on the mountain and saw Bombo's TR, which she knows is a crystal now because the TR map was on the mountain.
She might just be happy that at least she found it, though, knowing that she had to find it at some point.
That is true. Got a bottle for Deeps, can't complain.
With the free fairy.
Yeah, that's very nice here in TR.
It'll be extremely helpful the moment we try to Death Warp.
And looking at Deeps' personal tracker, he tracks if he's gotten the compass for each dungeon as well as the boss, and looks like I've got a blind in TR today.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's a reasonable boss.
Yeah, perfectly
Especially with
beatable. Yeah, that will not be an issue for him.
This dungeon is just a little awkward for blind due to the fact that there are a bunch of spikes at the top of the... Deeps is skipping, I guess, probably key logic here.
I don't know, honestly. I'm not great with TR key logic.
I wasn't counting, but I'm going to assume that... No, because we have maps and...
We have maps and compasses, our unknown dungeon.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's a key logic skip. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to the keys.
Me neither. There's the Eastern Big for taale, so that, and Gold Sword, sure. That's about all I can say to that. Why not, I guess. Not going to have to worry
Then that,
all about
you know what? Then, no, hold on. If that was an item, then there was not necessarily a guaranteed key in the big key chest. So it is a gamble.
Well, I'm going to hope for Deep's sake that that is not a required item, because that would hurt a lot at this point. Yeah, I think at this rate, though, I think our big question is, where have these boots gone off to might be the big thing right this second. Both in terms of they'd like to go fast, and because they need it for swamp, they might need it for desert access, plus fluid, or either that or they're going to have to find a book somewhere. First shield on Laser Bridge is vaguely funny, and taale is... Does she not have magic for Cold Stare? Managed to get flippers on Laser Bridge.
Flippers!
But yeah, taale just safe quit out a Cold Stare in Eastern. I didn't quite catch why.
If the boss hadn't been defrosted, you can see the magic bar is way too low.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was watching Laser Bridge, so I didn't quite see what was happening on that side.
Yeah. Okay, our tracker confirmed. Slayer confirmed in an internal channel that it was not enough magic for Bombos. That hurts. And no potions. Oof. So it looks like that's potion shopping here for some potions to go be Eastern. That does feel bad for taale. It hurts when you get there and you don't have any magic to beat the boss. That's going to be a double dip of Eastern for her for that. And Deep says not much health, but does have red mail and a fairy in a bottle, plus keep at the ready in case Blind Ghost decides to be mean. So this should be okay.
I'm pretty sure by the fact that we still have a key right now, it means that there was an item in the big key chest in Turtle Rock.
You might be right, yeah. And
but the boots were on the boss, not on that. That could have been bad. The boots are on the boss.
So we're booked for Mirror from Go mode?
Sorry?
So yeah, we're
Booker Flute, right?
Booker Flute from Go mode, sorry, yeah. Booker Flute and maybe Ice Rod from Go mode, correction. We still don't know if there's a Trinex required anywhere in the seed.
Well, hopefully that check in Turtle Rock wasn't one of those two items.
Yeah, that would hurt for Deeps at this point. taale might check that, so I don't know. She's off to Ice Palace, though, where she's going, knowing this is a crystal. Do your progression, really. Do your progression and hope this isn't a Trinex. Deeps is gonna go get half magic here. I don't fault him, honestly. I think this is a Skullwoods play. No, not Skullwoods.
Skullwoods is a pendant.
Playing over here and then to CAC for Mirror. That's what I'm scatter rating. Whoops. Save. Nah, my sense of direction is kind of bad, and I'm really just a scatter rating today.
We literally just went there for the half magic. Okay. As
yeah,
I said, it is really one of the best quality of life items.
Mm-hmm. And Deep's just, I guess Deep's wanting the safeties, which don't blame him for, especially because we saw on taale's side how not having enough magic for a boss can just cost you time there.
That can cause you some real issues in GT at the end, too, in a climb if you get two magic-intensive bosses on the climb.
Yeah, that's true as well. And that is Mirror pickup here for Deeps, which Yeah, puts him officially. He is decidedly in the lead for items. Taale, 2
I
deaths
don't know
to a
what
pendant
happened.
Vidi in Skull Woods, combined with the gonna be another trip to Eastern. I think. I mean, Deep's gonna do a double trip to Eastern, but I want to say it was that Skull Woods trip, the Skull Woods stats that really hurt for Taale. And then, of course, not doing Eastern is going to hurt her because she couldn't do TR the first trip. Didn't have bombos from Eastern to go pick up to go enter TR to get her boots and flippers, which are so important to finishing the seed off.
And right now, Deeps has a great route here. Going to be able to come in, do Swamp, get Swamp out of the way, and then go straight over and do Ice Palace afterwards.
Yeah, do these 2 dungeons and then head on off to GT, assuming he doesn't get bullied by a Trinex on the way.
We have to do Desert first.
Oh yeah, no, we have to do Desert. Hope you find a mirror or book on the way somewhere. Not book, a mirror, flute or book on somewhere on the way here.
Yeah, but like these 2 dungeons are right next to each other. They're both crystals. Do one into the other. No walking around the map.
Nope. And did you catch that map? Because I sure did not.
Sorry?
Did you catch the map checking Swamp there for Deeps? Because I didn't.
Nope.
Well, he's marking it on his personal tracker. It's a Vanilla Argus. Okay.
Oh. That's a decent fight.
Yeah, this should be fine. There's the big key. You do left side swaps, another question in this situation right now?
I just... That's a good question.
Because when you're potentially in a go mode that requires one of 2 different items, the odds of swap left side swap being hard required aren't the greatest, but also do you want to leave those behind? I'm not sure.
Not sure. I might do back first in the hopes that I just find the item along the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you find the item along the way, you're just done and you leave. If you don't find the item along the way, then you can always come back in and do it. And odds are we didn't find the big key yet, right? Because like odds are
the big key was the second chest. First chest is always the small key as always. Big key's second.
We actually did get the big key.
And
okay.
oh hi, we need a dice one.
Oh, okay. Well, we're 2 items from go mode.
One of which is hard required and is not a 50-50 the way Desert Access is. Because that is a Trinex. Surprise!
Bye, Trinex. We'll be back.
We will be back. Taale's instead going to go back and beat that Cold Stare, and Deeps is going to go do Left Side Swamp here.
Yeah, the fact that we found the big key early, this also is kind of nice. If you don't find the big key, you might be coming back in for the big chest anyway, if you want to be thorough, so you could come back in and do left side while you're here then. But this will allow us to do everything in one run.
Yep. I think that Samaria block was a little too high for the diver down.
It was.
Just a little bit. There we go.
Meanwhile, Taale back in Easter.
Yep. You're gonna just beat this. Both of them don't. I want to wrap this with pod, so. Taale really doesn't. She kind of pretty much, I think, has to. Taale's options after Eastern are either to go do an assortment of overworld checks such as Smith Chain, the water checks because he hasn't done those yet. A couple other loose ends, I guess. But Taale doesn't. But Taale can at least go. I really hope she doesn't go back for that pendant Vidi, and she can't do anything in pendant Meyer and.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I hope Taale goes back to
Turtle
TR
Rock,
soon.
right?
Yeah.
Turtle Rock is the play because it's a crystal.
I agree with you.
And
I hope
a
she
bunch
goes
of
back
items.
and doesn't try to do something else first. She does at least know that it's less likely to be a vanilla Trinex as well, which probably helps a bit. Yeah, likely to see her go there. I just hope she doesn't detour too much before that. Left side Zomp was a bust for Deeps.
Well, what you're really hoping for here now, knowing what we saw over on Taale's side, is that you really hope you find Ice Rod. Because anything you need to do desert, you can find in Ice... Oh, actually, we didn't find anything in Ice. Taale said,
No,
so...
I think Ice Palace was a snooze.
We are going to have to do some overworld checks, unless they're, like, back-to-back here.
Hi,
Map.
Map this up at the back of Swamp. Thanks. But yeah, we're gonna have... Yeah, unless... Yeah, no, we're gonna have to do an overworld check or go back to one of our pendants to track down one of our two missing Go Mode items.
I mean, unless it's here, we'll have to do that for both our items, potentially.
Yeah.
This game is being stingy with the items.
It is. It's been all seen. Remember how we started this by getting almost nothing but access and a couple boomerangs?
This game has been really stingy, except for that one moment where it was like, okay, now I'm going to open up half the world to you. And then after they defeated that half world, the game's like, you still haven't gotten access to anything else since.
Nope. Shoutouts to both Fire Rod and Glove being in the Skullwoods there.
Yeah. After that, what have we gotten access to after that? The mitts on the mountain.
Yeah.
We got the mitts.
Mitts on the mountain plus TR, I guess, but not a lot else.
Well, when we got the gloves, we actually got access to TR already because we had Bombos. Like the only thing we got after that was glove or mitts, which really didn't give us that much access.
Portals, but yes.
Yes.
But yeah, beyond that, not a ton else. Mitts give us TR, not Meyer because they can't get in without a flute. Yeah, TR and an assortment of overworld checks they would like to skip for now. I don't think Deeps did Spike Cave either, while I'm thinking about it.
I don't think so.
And we know that Taale died in there earlier, so that is one of our outstanding checks.
Well, one of the benefits here for Deeps is that he's going through this dungeon with boots.
Oh yeah, that's gonna save time for sure.
Especially on some of those ice floors, because we all love ice physics in games, right?
Right.
Gonna hit the switch, gonna go do Icebreaker. Meanwhile, we've got Taale going through TR.
Yep, as expected, she'll be picking up her items here. I do kind of hope for both of their sakes that Mimic Cave does not end up being required, because that would just be cruel.
Yeah, the Ice Rod. Like the guaranteed item that we need.
Would be special.
If that happens, that's going to be a last location.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to be I'm checking everything else in the world before that.
Yeah, because that would be... From...
So, we got...
Whoops. I am also curious to see if, okay, is my mic any better? Apparently I'm stuttering a bit.
Yeah, it looks like it just resolved itself.
Okay. I think I bumped my... I have a headset mic, and I think I bumped it a little bit too far from my face, maybe. Sorry about that. But I am wondering here if Taale does the lava chest, because Deep skipped that earlier. We do know it's an item, based on how many keys we saw from Deep's end. And I wonder if that's an item, too, for these guys. Or an item required item. It is an item, just not sure if it's a useful one. And there's Deeps immediately mirroring out upon seeing that try next.
Hi, try next!
Alright, and where do you go now, Deeps? He's out of the Crystal Dungeons to do, he's got an assortment of overworld and pendants to do at this point.
Oh,
Pendants
so
to
the
finish. Oh,
item
okay.
that Deep skipped in Turtle Rock was the bug net.
That is technically a major item, but thankfully for Deeps, not a required one.
Not required. We've already defeated Naga, and this is not swordless.
Nope. Thanks to the Map to Desert game.
So we can find out it's a red crystal that we already know. Although Taale doesn't know that.
No, but she knows that it is a crystal. At this point, I don't think they're ever getting to Pyramid Fairy, really, given that Desert is behind half her go mode.
Well, what if it's got the ice rod?
You do have a point. It is possible as they get compass to ice. Thanks, game. Would have liked that a few minutes beforehand.
Yeah, that would have been extremely helpful. Short, or just a few minutes ago.
Yep. Morty was probably rolling his eyes a bit. Gee, I would have liked that 2 minutes ago before I fell in on a Trinex. Butter sword required for Taale, so that's not going to be an issue for her.
I think at that point you still end up doing most of ice anyways, because you want to see, even if you know it's Trinex, you probably go through ice hoping you find the ice rod so that you can just finish the crystal.
Yeah. Might have saved a rube or two, I guess, at least.
Yeah. Because in the end, it was the only potentially completable crystal.
Yeah.
What are we seeing now?
Smith chain? Decently. Smith chain maybe with the mirror it's decently fast and can do hammer pegs and the sort too. Or no. Did Deep skip the back of Thieves? Don't honestly remember what his routing in here was.
Must have.
Yeah, I know Taale
Okay,
did
then this
and
makes
it
sense.
was nothing much. And yeah, right.
Oh yeah,
Compass
3
says
items
yes.
missing.
That does explain a little bit on why Taale fell a bit behind, I guess, is all we were talking about that earlier, is I'd honestly forgotten Deep skipped this. Giving a little bit of time back to Taale here, which is good for her. She does still have, though, the time losses of an extra mountain climb because she wasn't able to TR the first trip, and the 2 deaths on Vidi cost her a not insubstantial amount of time as well, so she is, I think, still behind, but it really depends where these last 2 items are at this point.
There was the Eastern Palace magic issue as well.
Although Deeps also did a double dip of Eastern at least, because he went in there the first time without a bow.
True.
I think that's a little bit more difficult to call.
Yeah, that probably cancels itself out. Boss fight over here. Let's see if the blind fight... Oh, going with Kena Samaria strats. Just throw the block up. Don't explode it. Just throw it in Blind's path. And Blind will just fly into it 3 times and take damage.
Sword strats, equipping safety.
Meanwhile, Deeps is about to finish up the back of Thieves Town.
Yep, and taale is finding boots as well.
Yeah, well, that's the other difference too. That Deeps is doing a bunch of this with boots that taale did without. Boots does help by a few seconds.
Yeah, and it's not much,
Here
but
and
seconds
there.
can add up, and we've seen close races in CC before.
You know, even if it's 20, 30 seconds here, 20, 30 seconds there, it can add up to a few minutes pretty quickly.
It can, that's for sure. Let's see where taale is now. Probably gonna go pick up that mirror, I guess. Do some boots checks on the way. Hammer pegs here for Deeps.
Deeps cannot check Magic Bat.
Nope. Thankfully for him, it's not worth. It's nothing. It's just a heart container, as was Hammer Pegs, which at this point he's got 13 hearts, red mail, blue, Buttersword. You don't need a 14 heart container for that.
You know, with the color coding, I'd look at Deeps and think that he's on green mail.
Nope.
Oh, there's powder!
Thanks, game.
Wow, that was like immediately mirrors. Okay, let's check powder. It's right here.
Yep.
I like this miss. Here's some magic powder. Go talk to the bat in the cave right next to us for your actual reward.
Maybe.
I guess
And
magic powder this time was the like leftovers of things the Smiths had worked with.
Yeah.
Metal powder.
Guess so.
Well, we knew it was nothing, but now Deeps knows it was nothing.
Yep. Still does save some time on taale though, because she made a special detour just to Takak just for the one check earlier. Whereas
Yeah, that
Deeps
was
is doing
incredibly
everything
convenient.
else. Yeah. Like Deeps maybe spent 10-15 seconds on it. Taale I think spent like a minute or something, at least a minute, just running all the way over to walking over the cack because no boots. Just to turn in the fake powder. But this is gonna be swamp for her. We know that this swamp had absolutely nothing of note in this.
Oh look, 20 rupees in a cave.
Thanks.
We'll leave him for the next seed.
Yep. And 20 more bucks. They're off the purple chest. So that's not our progression.
Money everywhere.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a little worried that those deaths to Vidi might have really cost taale, because I'm wondering at what point is that Vidi gonna be our next progression?
Well, we still have at least, 2 items in pod? We can just go down right side and the boss.
Yeah, we have 2 items in pod. We've got Spike Cave, which I think is where Deeps is going.
And Myers locked, so as long as we don't find Flute, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, technically 3 items behind pod. I forgot it's also the green pendant.
Oh yeah, 3 items. I think pod's a good play.
Mm-hmm. And then of course there's the check that you really, really never want to come back to, called the cave. Where's Deeps going?
I was trying to figure that out. What wasn't checked over here?
Spiral Cave makes sense.
A long way to come just for Spiral Cave.
Yeah, I guess it's a little faster with boots, but yeah, this is a detour.
Like, I mean, at that point, I would if we have the item count right, and there's 2 items left in pod plus the green, I feel like that would be good. Unless we're checking a bunch of things here.
Our tracker noting internally he got dead rocked going to the hookshot side. Yeah, you do have a point there. I remember him having some trouble with dead rocks earlier. He's going back to the portal.
There's no dead rocks in the Dark World.
No, not on this side. Mimic Cave lava chest here, I guess, for him? I don't think there's anything else for him to do up here in the Dark World right now on this side of Death Mountain.
That feels like a long walk for those items.
He's taking a gamble, I guess, which is, if I agree with you, this is a really long way for those items.
I mean, if we're right that there's 3 items effectively locked behind pod, I would have much rather seen the pod play.
I agree with you, but, well, we'll see if this pays out. That might have been another factor in why Deep skipped Lava Chest earlier, is maybe wanting to make Mimic Cave a slightly less terrible play to come back to.
I mean, you just leave it and you really hope it's not in there. At some point, you just take the risk that it's a last location. And because, like, think about it, if it was in Lava Chest, then we could just be completing another dungeon and potentially the game right here.
True.
But it looks like that's what we're doing. We're doing Lava and Mimic.
Sure looks like it. In the meantime, taale is going to backtrack through for left side swamp here.
You're both just giving time back to each other here.
They are. And they're running out of checks collectively between them. I mean, let's see what we have. What haven't we seen? We haven't seen Spike Cave. We haven't seen Mimic Cave. We haven't seen King's Tomb, Catfish. The remaining things in pod we haven't seen. I don't think we ever saw the Skullwoods Bridge chest. We definitely haven't seen that Vitreous. Yeah. We're running low on checks at this point.
I missed some of those, but I'm pretty sure we would have seen Skullwood's Bridge chest.
Chat was talking earlier that taale skipped it, and I don't think more Deeps ever went to the back.
He didn't?
So
wow. Wow, that's...
yeah,
she
well,
didn't check it while she was there. That's weird.
No, she didn't on either of her trips to try and beat that Viddy.
That's definitely something I would have expected to see.
Same, but apparently she didn't, and that might be a decision she's going to regret.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're there. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's not out of the way enough to leave it behind all the way for coming back an hour later.
Yeah. But here's a really big question for Deeps: was this entire trip worth it for Mimic Cave?
Oh, I very much doubt it, but...
yeah. And the answer is nope. Just heart number 15.
Why are we running out?
I have no idea.
Must have been some other chest. We must be missing.
Did he do hair of basement?
No, I'm talking to Deeps get like completely blocked out on this side or something. Maybe hair of basement though.
I would have maybe mirrored from the. Maybe this is a bit faster. It's right. taale hadn't done the shovel check yet, so she did that. I think we're both a little confused with our runners routing at this point.
I still like the pod check at this point. You know, there's at least, as far as we know, there's at least one, if not 2 items left in pod, plus the green pendant, and it's a bit of a trek to get through the back, but the right side's going to be pretty fast. You have a bow now. You have a key for it.
Skip Hero Basement earlier. We know Taale did this. And this was something thoroughly forgettable, so this will not pay off. But he is giving more time back to Taale, which is good for her.
And, you know, they each left at least one check behind because of a small key that was missing.
Yeah, because Deep's left behind a bottle, Taale left behind the big key. So they each know.
Oh, you know what? So there's two small. There's got to be two. There's two small keys left, which means there's one item. Yeah, there's one item plus
that we
the green
haven't
pennant.
seen. Yeah, it's one item that we haven't seen, but for each of them, it's 2 items plus the green because they each missed one of the 6 key lock checks.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. I was trying to figure out, the math didn't feel right in my head, and I was trying to figure out for the last while why that seemed wrong. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 small keys left.
Yeah, that does make more sense now.
Well, Taale finds that powder, goes, oh, of course it was right there. Oh, rupees on Spike Cave.
Crane, did I just mess up your restream? That's a good question. I don't see anything, so I'm going to go with no. Chat, let us know if Crane broke something. He's currently setting up my restream on ZSR main. But as far as I can figure, we've still got the right runners, we've still got the right race, trackers haven't been busted, audio hasn't broken as far as I can tell.
There we go! Deep's going back to pod. Thank you!
Thank you. Alright. You okay, Crane? Oh, yeah, I was using... Oh, right. Remotes. Yeah, that's me being a dingus on the sheet. Yeah. We have remote restreaming machines, and I was a dingus marked the wrong remote. Sorry about that. We're still live on ZSR2, Crane, so I assume no. We're still live, chat can still hear us, so I don't think you actually broke anything, and I fixed the sheet. Going to re-reserve NA2 for you. Yeah. Alright, though, where's Taale going?
King's Doom?
Get it right aside. Yeah, looks like it. And no worries, Crane, that's on me for not marking the sheet correctly.
What do we got here? We got the flute! Oh no! Myers! Myers now available!
Meyer, yeah. Meyer and Desert. Okay, so we just can't count keys in pod today, I guess, because that was not a key.
Yeah, it wasn't 2 keys.
Admittedly, they were also in pod about an hour ago. So it's been a while.
My original math was right. Okay, that's just... Let's ignore everything that was said about pod items. Then that further says that I think that pod was a really good call. Yeah.
Alright, so Taale's gonna pick up her half magic now. This makes sense.
Interesting that Deeps didn't complete the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess really wants to rush progression?
Yeah, but this isn't progression in any way.
It is. Mirror and Flute gets you desert access.
Oh, we do have... Yeah, okay.
That was one of our 2 options for desert access.
Yes, you're right. But we still need Ice Rod. That's where my... Okay. I'm gonna blame Friday night.
We've both been making some brain farts today, so no, I think it's just that kind of day.
This seed is just a confusing one. I like that Deeps actually did a medallion check while having all 3 medallions. You cut out there a little bit, but I think that's just muscle memory.
I'm pretty sure that was muscle memory.
Because you don't really need to check when you have all 3.
No. And taale really is committing to this victorious, I think.
This could be a huge difference.
Back.
Like if this is
Again.
Ice Rod, yeah, but this time with red mail, gold sword, and 12 hearts.
Fight. But yeah, if this is Ice Rod, this could be really big for taale because Deeps has got other places to be right now.
Yeah, we did not check the chest under the bridge. We still have not checked the chest under the bridge.
Yeah, taale's going straight for that viddy.
Like at this point, I like going for the boss first.
Yeah, same.
But while struggling and having issues with the boss, go check that item. What if that was a heart? What if that was a mail?
What if that's your silvers or something, even? Though they didn't have bow at the time. In the first trip.
Yeah, this boss with bow on a moving platform is kind of unpleasant.
Yeah, that is also true.
Unless you have silvers.
Yeah. And even at the time, like a bottle of potion in it would have been really helpful.
Yeah, a bottle with a potion could have been really nice, like a blue potion just to give a refill, or a red potion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still taking a few lasers.
Take the small ice down.
Oh, that's the wrong direction for the bow.
Yeah. There we go.
Arrows. There you go.
Revenge has been taken on that viddy.
For a shield.
Red shield. Oof.
Nope.
That's available, by the way.
Yeah. So what if Ice Rod's on pet?
Well, there are only so many checks left in the game for this Ice Rod.
Chat, go crazy. It could be a pet seed.
Yeah, it could be a pet seed. At least we're pretty much out of fetch quests. Although Paradox book on pet would be something. And, first repeat of the seed, that's a Moldworm.
Well, no more Moldworms for the rest of the game.
Nope.
Our runners probably aren't particularly happy about that, because Moldworms towards the end of the run are actually kind of nice, because they're just a nice little break from everything else that you were doing.
Yeah. Moldworm, yeah, I'd love to see what the Moldworm 2 boss ends up being, because that's a very restricted arena.
Mothula?
Yeah, we haven't seen a moth yet. The bosses we haven't seen a single set of Armos Knights, we haven't seen any land moths or any moths.
But two out of the 3 of those bosses can't be in that. 2 of the 3 of those bosses can't be in there, right?
Yeah, and yeah, that is also true. You cannot have Armos or Landmos in there. We are also missing 2 repeats, though.
Yes, but there's a good odds that it's a Mothula.
Oh yeah, you're right. You are correct on that. Third piece on Checkerboard Cave was not the answer to anything.
Although Mothula in that dungeon is so much nicer than Mothula in Skullwoods.
Yeah, a big part of why Moth is so difficult in Skullwoods is because of this boss room specifically.
Oh yeah, the enemy is the room, not the boss. As we saw on Taale's side, that boss room is just really unfortunate. Doesn't really matter what's in there.
No. Graveyard Ledge at Burno, so that was not required at all. And this is going to be a catfish play for taale. Might mirror... Mirror needs to be marked on her tracker, by the way. Might mirror for the Zora area checks at this point, I think. Thieves did those a long while ago. They were a lot of nothing.
I totally forgot we hadn't seen those on her side.
Yeah, she never got around to those. It won't hurt her at all. Though she is doing them a little bit more efficiently than Deeps did.
Yeah.
it's the little things at this point as we try to figure out where this ice rod's at, and Taale needs to get back to pod.
Yeah, Zelda needs to go back to pod, but then there's after that, it's literally just going to be the where is the ice rod? We have an ice rod hunt. This is completely shocking, and we've never seen one of these before. For newer viewers, if it's not obvious, this happens a lot.
It's an item that only logs very, very little in the game, and it logs Trinex, and that's it. Yeah.
Yep, one boss. That's the only thing you can't do without it.
And even
so it can be literally anywhere but on that boss.
Yeah. And even in boss shuffle, that really doesn't change as much.
Nope.
There is one thing to note, I guess, depending on... Well, no, never mind.
Oh,
well,
there
that's
it is.
the ice rod. Alright, that is go mode for Deeps.
At 144, we have go mode.
Yeah, this is a bit of a longer seed today. Because we're going to spend a few minutes running back through Ice Palace, so I've got to go find that GT big key and then go beat Ganon. And then, we still don't know what our final bosses are. And the GT big key location combined with the boss layout in GT could make for some trolls.
Oh. You mean like an ice Trinex?
Yeah, like that.
Thankfully, we have a lot of hearts, good weapons. Shouldn't be too bad.
No,
there really shouldn't be anything on ice.
Want to do.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to do it. There shouldn't be any boss with this loadout that should be able to give us any real trouble.
Yeah.
Especially because we've seen one Trinex, so it's not like we can get big key locked by Trinex with Trinex in the first boss room where you have to use all your magic.
I mean, we could look at a repeat Trinex, though.
We could get one, but we can't get two.
Yeah.
And both our runners actually picked up the half magic as a safety, so that also makes it quite a bit more friendly.
Yep. Having a little
you get
trouble
two Trinex.
With...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry?
Yeah, Deep's having a little trouble with Icebreaker this time around.
I think he's moving too far left.
He got it that time, it looks like. Yeah, I think he was a little left of where he needed to be.
I think the slash
what were you
was
saying
just a
about
little late.
Trinexes?
Oh, no, that's fine. Theoreticals that don't matter right now.
There. We're going to go face Trinex here in the bottom fish. And Taale is back to pod. This is more or less the last location for her, I think. We've seen just about everything else there is to be seen in this game.
Between our two runners, I think so. There might be a few locations Taale hasn't checked, but generally, yeah.
As Deeps' personal tracker, as you can see in the commentary page, includes tracking the items left in each dungeon. He's left, obviously, the item behind the item on the pod boss, as well as the green pendant, of course. We've got. He left a couple items in Meyer, the cutscene chest and big chest, I think. There's a key somewhere in there. There's a couple keys in there as well. And then, yeah, boss of ice. Or, you know, 2 items in Skullwoods at the back, and a good couple items in Meyer. I was reading the wrong thing. But I already got the 2 heads down for Trinex for Deeps. And first one is very quick work.
I didn't even think to look at the runners trackers that we have to figure out how many items were left in pod. That didn't even cross my mind because I'm so used to not having them.
I also honestly forgot.
We could have easily known what was left.
Oops. Alright, and Taale is having a think and decides, no, I'm not going to go beat whatever boss is there. Simultaneous mirrors, but Deeps is dungeon and a half ahead-ish. And yep, thank you for the reminder, Real Wit Broker. We've got a little game we like to play. Put a number in chat between 1 and 22. Where's that big key to Ganon's Tower?
I always say 8. What about you?
4.
Oh, you're 4 all the way around.
4 or 14, but today I decided to go with 4 for Switch.
Yeah, my problem is I go with 8, but if I say 8 blue balls, that's extremely unlikely. How often do you see 8 blue balls on Aga?
Mm-hmm.
Possible. Unlikely.
Alright, speed of prediction, we're gonna do even or odd. Have fun, chat. Now, for those who are hoping to get something behind the boss on ice, you would want... Let's see, if... it depends on routing, that could be, let's see... Usually in the mid-late teens is usually where the boss on ice ends up being. I'm currently failing math. Yes, Taale has activated her flute and is off to go get her final crystals. Eventually. I'll get her second to last crystal and the ice rector, then go get her final one.
Well, there we are. We are in GT.
Yep.
Going left side first. 1 is 5 rubies. 1 equals 5.
Yep.
Good math statement right there.
It's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I lose, and 5 is in the key.
Wow. 3 small keys in Stalfos room. Wow. The game basically went, okay, you want to go anywhere in GT, go have fun.
Let's go right side here with those keys. There's the book.
Oh, look, the book!
Thanks. Flute hard required then. Lovely. Figured as much given how little we had by that point. That's just funny.
I think that fire rod shot hit the pot and then splash damaged the enemy.
Yeah, that was funny.
The Gibdo. Couldn't remember what enemy was actually there until I saw the ones in this room.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
8.
Alright, that... No?
9?
This year I can't count. 10... And 11. Nope.
Yeah, 11. That's right. Well, I'm out, and so is everyone in chat. Everyone in chat, the highest guess was 11. Everybody's though. Nobody wins.
Yep.
We'll give everybody another shot at 10 to everyone's number, and we'll see if somebody gets it off by 10.
Let's go with that then, yeah.
12?
Nope. Alright, 13 is the big key.
There it is.
No need to worry about that boss of ice. Instead, it's right up the tower for deeps.
Well, we are on the climb now.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
And
Taale does pick up the crystal and just has ice now to finish.
Well, no,
Wh-
still needs to go get the ice rod first.
Well, still has ice to finish, but yes.
Has ice to finish in terms of crystal dungeons, but is okay, yeah. I was thinking I think of it going back to Todd versus Meyer, and thus goes Meyer. Phew. Maybe? No? Taale!
What are you doing? No, you had the right idea. Go back. Go back.
No.
Where are we going?
Pyramid Fairy?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I still like the Meyer play, especially because Meyer has an extra 2 items due to the fact that the maps and compasses are shuffled.
Yeah. And you're right there, too.
Yeah.
Alright, Armo's here. First set of the seed, and that'll be the only set we see, because they can't be on World War II.
I'm still voting on Mothula for the next boss.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, honestly.
Mothula has to either be here, or did we... Oh, we never got a look at Pod Boss, did we? Here
Pod
or
Meyer bosses.
Pod or Meyer. Yeah. Actually, could have been
No, it
in
could be
Basement
Ice
of
Moth.
GT as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice Moth.
Moth can be anywhere. Basically, as dungeons go, it's a pretty small boss.
Well, Moth is just such an easy boss. Anywhere but Skullwoods.
Yeah, that's true. Mirrorbank for Taale, having found, I don't think she got anything on Pyramid Fury, so I mean, we've seen everything, so. I guess we're missing silvers. I think per my notes, we're missing our last model, and that's honestly it.
That sounds right. Maybe we'll find silvers on the way up. We are not checking anything. No. Deeps is already figured out. No, I'm just going to do silverless. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2 hours. It's almost 2 hours in. Hey, you're right. You were right.
It was Mothula.
Yeah, I mean, Zeth, no, for Deeps, it's almost 2 hours in. You went all the way back up to Death Mountain for Mimic Cave and Lava Chests. It's in a lot of back and forth, and you have to wonder where your opponent is. You don't want to lose time checking chests. Like, silvers would be nice, but also they don't have to be here.
No, and with gold, you won't save too much time, but you would still save a little bit of time, even if you check the chests.
Yeah. Alright, time for some agronometry. Double. Wavering Fox, the Ice Rod is here in Meyer.
I was going to say, to the question in chat about where Ice Rod is, wait a moment, you'll see it on Taale's side.
Yeah, 2211 looks like it will be the Aga for Deeps. But this will be Deep's taking game 1 out of this best of 3 series between the two runners. This is a best of 3, of course, so they will be playing at least one more match at a later date. I think not. Let me see if they've scheduled it yet. I'm not sure. And the winner of this will go on to face. Looked at this before the restream started, and I've since forgotten in the past 2 hours. Whoops. The winner of this will go on to face Keysden in round 2.
Now the big question is, will we get a finish before the 2-hour mark?
It's gonna be cutting it close here.
Oh, it is. I think we might
Did you
be
find
just
the
a little
arrows
over.
in Light World? Are those on the pad?
In Light World.
Heather Saha are my thoughts. I'm not sure what else is left.
Yeah, something like that. Well, if they
He's
were
did
on
get the
pad,
torch
nope.
glitch. And their tracker confirming Sawyer saying that he also thinks it's just Powder Saha left. Because yeah, I think we've seen just about everything else. I mean, the other items we're missing is, yeah, the last couple items in Meyer, the item on the boss of Pod, and a couple things in GT.
Actually, that little icon reminds me, did we finish up the prediction there? Because it was odd.
No, yeah, I forgot to do that. Whoops. Fix. Yes, you did in fact get your points, Zach, so you're... Yeah,
And there it is! Getting down a little over 2 hours. We did not make the sub 2 hour. Deeps does cross the bridge. Does finish in first with a time of 2 hours and 30 seconds.
GG. And Taale has seen the dot done and has elected to forfeit. GG's to her as well. Good race between these two. Going to go see if I can't get them into the... see if they want to come and interview. Don't see them out of them in the waiting room right now, but a minute or two. Alright, looks like Deeps will be joining us. I am unsure on Taale, as she hasn't said anything in the race room since, so let's see. But GG's them both. This is an interesting race to watch. Some very trolly item placements, and
Yeah, very rude game.
yeah, the boss layout was not the greatest either.
Oh yeah, there were that's true too. There were definitely some unfortunate bosses.
Yeah, between the Cold Stare and Easter, and that Vitreous and Skull Woods for Taale, and of course that Trinex in Ice Palace. Game had its moments.
That Vitreous in Skull Woods was a rude location.
Really, really was.
Deeps made the decision to just skip it and say, I'm not even going there. And you know what? In the end, that was the right decision.
Really was. Alright, speaking of him, hey Deeps, joining us now in the interview booth. GG.
Hey.
Congratulations. What do you think of the seed?
I kind of thought that seed was not great. I was worried about it at the beginning because I tried Aga 1 early thinking that there was going to be something on the pyramid, and then there wasn't. But then I found the pearl like right after, and I was like, okay, so Aga 1 was a valid thing to do. But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, we were talking about that. This seed had some really trolly moments, such as this boss layout was not excellent.
Yeah, the ice rod being where it was, I was hoping it wasn't pod or the ped. Like it had gotten to the point where I was like, it can't be, and I was psyching myself out about it, and then I'm so glad that it wasn't.
Well, the silver arrows were somewhere in the light world, and based on everything we saw, we're pretty sure it was either Ped or Saha for the green pendant.
Yeah, all I had left was on my tracker was Ped, Saha, or either of the tablets.
Oh,
I
you know
didn't
what?
find the book.
Tablets, yes.
Oh,
I didn't find the
right.
book
Yeah,
until
tablets.
GT.
Yeah,
Forgot the
tablets.
tablets existed.
Yeah, what tablets? There was no book.
Yeah, book was GT, so
Yeah, you were not getting there. And now this say this very, very dry start. You guys did CAC for practically nothing. You guys got those boomerangs out of there, I guess. That was about
yeah.
that. You guys did all. You guys did CAC for not much. You guys went South Shore. Didn't get a whole lot out of there either, and it just ends up turning out. Yeah, you're going to Aga. One early thing is that you think you guys both end up checking Saha's Hut at about the same time, but you did continue from Saha's Hut to Eastern. Got bombos in the news there was a cold stare in the place. Tally skipped Eastern at a time and came back later.
Yeah, with Bombos there, I was kind of hoping, and I knew it was a crystal, right? So I was hoping it was Vanilla Bow, and I could have just ran right into Cold Stare with Bombos, but no luck there.
Yeah, game did not give it to you because that was the things that kind of differentiated you guys. You both went Dark World. You both went Pod. You both beat Aga around the same time, but you went back to you got Pyramid Ledge. You didn't have Moon Pearl at the time. Tali did, so she went to Pod. You went to go do some more Light World checks, looking for the Merle, and then just some cleanup such as Zora area and the sort. And then you went back to Dark World and Pod as well. Then you guys went to Village, Skullwood's Thieves, nice glove and Fire Rod, by the way, in Thieves Town. That was the thing.
Yeah, I think for me,
And then
I
eventually you guys both ended up on Death Mountain.
yeah,
But you had Bombos and Tali didn't because she hadn't done Eastern at that point. So she ended up going back down the mountain and doing varying other checks while you cleared TR. And we're like, oh, well, there's the boots and the flippers. Okay.
yeah. I think too for me, I kind of blanked for a minute because I last locationed Agina and forgetting that Pod was even a thing. And then I had nothing left that I thought that I could do, and it just dawned on me that it was Pod. And at that point in time, I thought I was way behind, and there was no way to catch up because I had checked literally everything else that I could have up to that point. And yeah, it was interesting.
I think one of the big things that ended up happening is that neither of you went into right side pod early.
Yep.
You both went in without a bottle to do the skip, and nobody did mimic clips, so that flute was just sitting there for both of you.
Yeah, that kind of stuff always. I always forget that that's even possibly an option. And I almost always will only do right side of pod if I have bow.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, it would have saved you a lot of time running around
Oh,
the world trying to find
absolutely.
it, because you even went up and you did. We were talking about it. You did Spiral Cave and Spike Cave before even going back into Pod, where Pod actually had more items. Any particular
Yeah.
reason you went up the mountain? We're just curious about the thought process.
I was just looking for anything at that point in time, and as I got nearer and nearer to nothing left on the map, I was kind of convincing myself that the ice rod was in iced tea, and I didn't check it because I had just gone as soon as I finished Big Key chest in Ice Palace. I went right down to the boss and saw that it was Trinex and just noped out of there. And then I was thinking to myself that Trinex could have had the extra key, and Ice-T could have had the ice rod. So I was getting down on myself about if it was there, that I lost because she may have checked that. I don't know. I was just kind of all over the place at the end, just trying to find something.
Oh jeez, yeah, there was a lot of that. Just we were on Restream, just counting off what's left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were all running all over the place trying to check things.
Yeah, the crazy thing is I'm looking at the collection rate right now, and I'm only 167. So like, I don't know how it's that low with the number of things that I checked, but I
mean,
felt
let's
like I
see.
checked everything.
Well, I mean, there were like 20 plus in GT
GT.
alone.
Yeah, you skipped a good
Yeah.
amount of GT. You skipped some checks and you skipped some checks in Meyer. You didn't do the back of Skullwoods at all, which is speaking of that was no man. So
Do you know what boss
you
was
never
there?
It was
yeah
Vidi, I think.
yeah it
Yeah.
was a yes. So you made the choice to never go back there. I don't think you even went through the back of Skullwoods, and you certainly did not fight that Vitreous, which turned out to save you probably at least 3 or 4 minutes, I want to say. Unfortunately, taale did decide to go to that Vitreous and died twice to it, and did eventually beat that Vidi, but while she was looking for that ice rod, but it was a pretty big time sink for her.
Yeah, Vidi's one of those things where I don't mess around with Vidi. I've been burned by that one too many times, and I won't go into there unless I know that I've got something that helps me out. So I had Fire Rod. I could have got there really early and just decided it wasn't worth the time if I didn't have one more sword or cape. Or I think I did have cape at that point in time because I remember checking cape or the bumper cave
Yeah, you guys had
on
it.
my way. But I just wanted that extra sword if I was gonna have to do Vidi.
Turned out to be the right play because Vidi was nothing, and taale ended up going there 3 times. Unfortunately, 2 times
I
with
think the
pretty low equipment. Like I know at least the first trip was like during your first trip to Thieves Town with like pretty minimal equipment, like 6 swords, fighters, a master sword, blue
Mm-hmm.
mail. It wasn't no potions. It wasn't great equipment, unfortunately, and she had somewhat better equipment the second time, but this just wasn't cooperating with her, unfortunately.
the other thing we were wondering about is you left behind the lava chest in Turtle Rock. Any particular reason?
I feel like that one is a personal thing that it's always a key for me, so I just skipped it.
Yeah.
And then I did end up going back and getting it because I was trying to route for like quantity of items, and at that point in time it was like 1 or 2 checks everywhere, but then I had Spike Cave, Hera Basement, Lava Chest, Mimic Cave, and Circle Cave all in that area. So I was like, okay, I'll go hit those 5, and hopefully something's up there. And then I think I didn't find anything there, and I was like, well, if I go back, I think I was in Dark World at that point, and I was like, oh well, I can after Spike Cave, and I was like, if I save and quit, I'm on the pyramid. The pyramid's really close to Pod. I can go to Pod and check right side because I have a bow now, and I think that's what got me everything that I needed at that point in time.
Yeah, it was.
But I looked at Pod and it was sitting there taunting me that it wasn't done. And I think I even mistracked something at one point in time, and I think that I had one fewer check in Pod than I actually did. Um so I was putting Pod off because I thought that there were fewer items than there actually were.
Yeah, we think there were 2 items left when you weren't doing it, but it was 2 items plus the green pendant. So there would have been
Mhm.
actually 3 items in relatively quick succession there. So we were actually kind of surprised you weren't going back for that. Although
Yeah,
taale also ignored it for quite a long time too. There was a while where we're going, can somebody please go check that because we think the item's there.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even know what boss was in Pod or Meyer. I didn't check.
I
So,
don't think Taale checked either. We did not see we did not
Yeah,
actually see them.
yeah,
we don't
I
have it
have
noted at all.
compasses for both, but I didn't bother opening them.
Mm. They were killable at the end, but yeah.
Yeah,
Well, one of them
I
was
was hoping that
probably Landmo.
it just wasn't a Helmasaur on the island before Aga 2. I've gotten that before in McBoss, and it is not fun.
Yeah, Helmet and the Modern 2 really could be kind of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Helma in either Molder Marine is kind of annoying, and you did get the Helma in Tower of
In the
Hera.
first one, yeah.
Just because Helma keeps standing over a pit, and you can't actually go and hit them with anything because they're standing over a pit.
Yep.
Yeah, I was hoping it wasn't a Helma, and I was hoping that it wasn't Trinex. Anything else, I could have cared less what it was, but I was really hoping that it was not one of those two, and I'm glad that it wasn't.
Trinex can't be in that arena.
Yeah, Trinex
Oh, okay.
can't be in the Molder Marinas. The Molder Marinas are pretty small, especially Molder 2, I think. They're both pretty bad on that front. So there's only a handful of bosses that can actually fit up there.
Excellent.
Uh,
That is not something I knew. I'm pretty new to McBoss, so
yeah, no worries. But because
You
the
can
thing
you
is,
can
some of the
get
bosses
Vidi.
just physically cannot fit in there. Vidi does for some reason.
Vidi fits. Vidi's the awkward one. Vidi is the one every time I'm in there and I'm like, I'm climbing up Hera on one of these modes, and I'm on Fighter Sword, no nothing, and I'm like, please don't be Vidi. Please don't be Vidi.
yeah,
And inevitably it's Vidi.
At least
yeah.
with Vidi, if it's Molder 1, you can just chuck bombs down from the higher ledge. But yeah, it's not the most fun fights. But yeah, the only bosses that can actually fit up on the Molder Marinas are you can't fit the Armos Knights or Landmos up there. You can fit Moldor, Helmasaur, Moth, and Vidi. I think are the only ones you can get up there.
Okay.
Blind, Blind actually I think can fit up might fit up there, but yeah, yeah,
I don't know if
like
I've ever seen Blind there. I'm not sure if Blind
not
can actually
sure.
be there.
Well, it might be scatterbraining. I remember having a discussion on this last McBoss seed I copied, and I've
Ah,
already forgotten it. Whoops. But yeah, you can't get a Trinex up there either. Trinex gets a little weird sometimes.
I, I feel like Blind's flight path would take him over the pits half the time.
It might, yeah. I think I'm misremembering. So never mind that.
Right? But when Blind goes from the top of the room to the bottom, it'd be like over the top pit to the bottom, or like underneath the bottom pit.
Yeah, no, yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't have a lot else to comment on. It does not appear as though Taale will be joining us, unfortunately, but GG's to her as well. This was an interesting race to watch.
Yeah, GG's.
So that does put you up one game here in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, that's so this is only the second year that I've done Challenge Cup, and I made round of 64 last year as well. Got out of groups, and then I think I had Dr. Bob Tastic in round 1 and didn't win a single one of those matches. So this is new territory for me right here. So happy to get the win tonight, and we'll see what happens in the next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it whenever it does get scheduled, as I see that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. I think for me personally, the time zone difference, because I know they're 6 hours ahead of me, so that has made it a little interesting. But we're gonna try to get it scheduled sometime this week.
Yep. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 hours is a lot of time to make
Mm-hmm.
for
Right,
scheduling.
yeah. Wasn't sure what their time zone is, but yeah, US Europe scheduling always ends up being a bit of a headache.
Yeah. So I think we started at 6 p.m. for me, and it was midnight for her. So
Yeah, she's probably gone to bed, I'd expect at this point.
Yeah, it's probably what happened there. Yeah, it's
yeah,
always. I find that the cross continental, the North American European games tend to happen on the weekend, where you can both pick a reasonable hour when you're both awake and not, say, work or school or anything like that.
Yeah, or you can do a midnight race and sleep in the next morning.
Yeah, that too. Or sleep in that day so you're not exhausted during the race.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, any last thoughts from either of you before I take us out?
No, I think I'm good.
Nothing for me. Good
Yeah.
GG and good luck on future games, Deeps.
Awesome.
No.
Thanks all.
Yeah. Have a good evening. So let's see. Please do give both of our runners a follow, putting your links in the chat. More Deeps and Taale, as well as my co-commentator Zethno and our tracker tonight, Slayer. Thank you all so much. Let's see. Coming up on the CSR schedule, it is a holiday weekend in the US, and we've got a relatively minor amount of tournaments going on, so it's a fairly quiet night. But quiet weekend and night as well. But we will be raiding shortly over here to ZSR main. They're currently restreaming a Lunatic Randomizer mini blends tournament grouped in winners bracket round 1 between Nave and Turquoise. Tomorrow we've got a couple of our regular old weekly races. We've got another Lunatic mini blends match between Kino Keith and J-Bone. We've also got a showcase race of the Tears of the Kingdom Any Percent run at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And we do have 2 more Challenge Cup matches on the schedule for this weekend. We've got tomorrow at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. We'll have the Game 3 between a Rabid Wombat versus Nuchibato. And then Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Yukikaze versus Bibano, pardon the French. So we hope to see y'all there for both matches. Wombat versus Nochi will be on CSR 4 at the moment, looking at our schedule. Channel assignment to be determined for Yuki versus Bibano. And they'll be, of course, putting on more Marie streams for matches throughout the brackets. But that shall be it here for us tonight. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.